All right, everybody, welcome back to BOREDinDE. And tonight I have one of my close friends. She's like my sister, and boy, some of the conversations we have off camera be off the chain. I known her, wow, I don't want to say no dates and them because I don't want you to be like, don't date us. But it's been a while. I known her kids since her kids were little, and they still little, but we not gonna put you out there like that. Miss Aisha Copeland, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I was definitely looking forward to this interview because I wanted to know, for first jump off, what made you go with the title "Bad Credit Ain't Cute"?
I mean, bad credit ain't cute?
It's not. But I'm like, yo, bad credit ain't cute. It's like a grabber. It's like, well, tell me about it. Bad credit ain't cute.
I mean, because if you just think about the aspect of credit, if you have bad credit, there's nothing cute about you, honestly.
And credit is definitely important nowadays because you really can't make any moves if your credit's messed up.
Exactly. Credit is everything, and people don't understand that.
Yeah, because we're talking from like employment to finding a place to stay to even having available resources if an emergency comes up and you need to finance something.
Yep.
Finance repairs or get a loan or something like that. You can't
insurance.
Right. You can't do a whole lot if your credit's messed up.
Yeah, credit's everything, and unfortunately, we weren't taught that in school.
And I think it is something that needs to be taught in school.
Yeah,
definitely. Like credit, like we need to teach people about credit. We need to teach people about how to be compassionate and critical thinkers. I mean, the history's all messed up. I think you could just slap a book in front of somebody and let them go through history because, when we were in school, we were taught that Christopher Columbus discovered America, only to find out he was just a drunken bum
exactly
that got lost.
Right.
So I think things like home ec, credit, everything needs to be taught.
And they don't even have home ec anymore. Like, it's sad.
They don't even write in cursive anymore.
No, I had to buy my kids cursive books to teach them to write their name. I'm like, yo, you don't even know how to sign your name. Exactly.
Wow.
I tell my daughter, I'm like, yo, what if the internet, let's say a whole internet crash for the whole day? Mm-hmm. How you gonna balance your checkbook?
They'll be lost as a mud.
Exactly.
Lost.
You can't log in nowhere. What you gonna do?
I mean, we can go on for days about it because I'm like, these kids don't even know how to read a map or nothing like that. They be struggling.
Yes, they're so instant because everything is instant for them. And I mean, with technology, yes, it's getting better, but these newer generations now, they have this instant mentality that everything is instant.
And it really isn't.
Not at all.
It really isn't. But I wanted to ask, every year something comes up where everybody kind of gravitates to that saying, I do this, I do this, I do this. Right now, we're seeing an explosion of a lot of people coming out saying, I do credit repair. Mm-hmm. I could take this off your record and this and this and this. And I remember when I first heard of it, I was cool with the guy that talked about it. And he was like, oh, man, all I do is look for somebody that got similar information and swap it over. I'm like, that's a felony, dog. You're trying to send somebody to jail. So with everybody saying they fix credit, why would somebody come to bad credit ain't cute?
Well, first, you always have to do your research on the company itself. Number one. I mean, you shouldn't sign up with anyone unless you do research on exactly what they're going to be doing. I know people that have paid $2,500 for a credit sweep, quote, and that's illegal.
Wow.
And these people are paying all this money to do this credit sweep, and you can go to jail.
Yeah, and that's not cool. That's not cool at all.
Not at all. I got into the credit repair because I've had credit issues myself. I'm very transparent with my clients. I've filed bankruptcy twice, so I've been where they are. I've been with the struggles of budgeting, trying to become financially stable, and I wanted to help people. And I was with a network marketing company, but it wasn't hands-on. It wasn't a more personal relationship, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a more personal relationship with my clients. Mm-hmm. I then became a certified financial coach, which just really made me want to hit it because most people that have bad credit, mm-hmm. they don't know how to manage their finances.
That's usually how they get in bad credit.
Exactly. So it's like they go hand in hand. So I'm able to offer my clients something different than the average credit repair company, because most credit repair companies are only doing credit repair. They don't care about your finances. They don't care about teaching you how to save money or, teaching you how to invest money. Once you're able to, once you get to that point where you're able to start investing and things like that. And that's what my company does. Like, we not only work with you with your repairing your credit, but we're also going to teach you how to budget. We're going to teach you how to save money. And then once you get to a place where you're comfortable, now we're going to explore, let's start investing. Because one thing a lot of people don't get is you need multiple streams of income. Because if you had multiple streams of income, when your credit first, took a hit, you probably wouldn't have took a hit like that, because you would have had income coming from somewhere else. Everybody has, exactly, because everybody has their reasons as to why their credit became worse. But, if you had, and it could be you lost a job, you got sick, somebody in your family got sick, you got injured, things like that happen. Right. That's life. But if you had other sources of income coming in, you probably wouldn't have messed your credit up, because you would have been able to still take care of your bills. Then the problem with our community, we live above our means. We want to floss for the streets. We want to floss for these people that don't care nothing about us. We more concerned about, the kind of car we drive and the shoes we got on and the purse we carrying versus having money in the bank. Give me the money in the bank. Y'all can have all that. Right.
Because I know people personally that, they will go out and get a 2002 Mercedes Benz instead of getting that 2014 Honda Accord.
Exactly.
And because I got a Benz and shit, but you gotta understand, when you get those luxury cars, you get those luxury repair bills. Exactly. And they ain't no joke. So if you already in debt buying a 20-year-old luxury car, then
it's gonna get worse.
When that thing need an oil change, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, it's $650 to change the oil. $6.50? No, $650." Now you got a luxury car that's sitting around or is on the highway making all bad noises. And the one thing that we both seen this happen, people get taxes at tax time. Oh, yes. And they ball out. And
they get that car that get repoed a couple months later.
and it's like every time they see a tow truck, they're like, hold on. Right. Oh, that's AAA. They don't.
Can I go park my car at your house?
I mean, if you've been around long enough, you definitely have had a friend that'll be like, "Yo, can we trade cars?"
Right. Can I park my car in the back of the house while I'm here? Right.
Be like, "Yo, move your car, park mine in there, then you park yours in front of mine." Yeah, we definitely know people that's been through that and everything, and it's sad, but I love how your company is not just repairing credit, but you're teaching people financial responsibility and teaching them how to not only invest, but to generate multiple streams of income, because you need that. Because honestly, Social Security ain't going to be around when we need it.
And even if it is, it's going to be $32 a month.
Right. It's not going to be anything. And then if you work a 9 to 5, which is nothing wrong working a 9 to 5.
Nothing at all.
But the time of having a pension given to you when you retire is gone.
Yeah.
So you got a 401k account, but you still need to be mindful of what investments that 401k is in, because some people say, "Oh, I'll go with the company's safe bet." And the safe bet, you could be losing money, but if you understand your avenues and everything, you can put your money to where it grows for you. It's just a lot of people don't put that time and effort. I'm like, man, if you can go to the club, you can go online and learn about investments, because right now it's beautiful. When we were coming up, we didn't have this.
You had encyclopedias.
Right. Now you can get on your phone or your computer and Google, go to YouTube and Google everything. Yep. And it's just handed to you and stuff.
Yeah, we have we have a lot of information that we have access to instantly, which is a great tool, but people are lazy. They don't want to do it. They want someone to tell them, here, this is what you should do.
Right.
And the reality is I can tell you, oh yeah, put your money in this stock, and this stock, or do this, that, and the third. You don't know what's going on, and then say, God forbid something happens to me.
Yeah.
You screwed.
And it's definitely, finances is definitely not one size fit all.
Nope.
What works for me may not work for you.
Yeah.
And people need to understand that. And I think if people dedicated at least, I would say 15 to 30 minutes every other day trying to learn something, it would become a habit. Then you'd be like, I can't believe I was wasting time watching the same reruns, or I was going to the same bar or something like that. Like, learning is a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah, and remember, it takes 21 days to learn a habit. So if you continually to do something over and over again, you're gonna learn.
Right.
And that's the only way really to succeed in life is to learn. Because once you stop learning, you stop growing. Mm-hmm. And when you stop growing, what's left?
And I think also it's beautiful how, like you say, how you got started in credit repair is basically you had the problem, so you can relate to your client on a personal level, where a big company is like, oh, we'll fix it, then we'll send you on your way. So with you coming and being transparent, being like, look, I filed bankruptcy twice. I know what it's like to have to wait for that paycheck to come in.
Exactly.
To be like, I can't make no moves because the gas I got in my car is just enough when I get my check to go get more gas.
Exactly.
We all been there.
Yes.
And plus, a little side note, I remember when this young lady had a car where she had a whole laptop for the radio. The whole laptop.
So embarrassing.
So when she say the struggle is real,
the struggle was real.
The struggle is real.
Yes. Oh
now,
God.
With all this competition and all these other companies, what was the hardest thing about getting into the field for you?
When I actually branched off and started my own company, I really thought that, people will come around. And that's exactly what happened. It's like, once I stopped chasing the money aspect of it and really started focusing on the helping part of it, it's like it just came. I mean, when you start a business, you can't focus on the money. I mean, right. I had to learn. I've had a few businesses, so I've had to learn that. But it was like once I really focused on, I'm more worried about helping you make sure that you're not in this position ever again.
Right.
And then it was just like the triple effect. I mean, it's to the point now where I've hired 6 credit repair specialists under me. So I'm growing.
And I think also, like, people really need to get out of their own way and their own embarrassment.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with saying, look, man, I need some help. Because especially us men, we'll be real quick to be like, man, I don't need this. I don't need that. But honestly, there's nothing wrong with asking for help, especially when it comes to your credit. Because you personally been through it. I mean, I would think they will gravitate towards you like in a heartbeat. You're like, yo, she's been there.
Right.
When you talk to these companies that, you're only talking to them on the phone, you don't see them face to face.
Nope.
And they don't really address you by name. They're like, oh, you're Mr. So-and-so. Let me go ahead and pull up your records. And they're doing their little typing and stuff. But you're like, oh, yeah, come on in.
Yeah, well, actually, when I first started, every single client, I could tell you everything on their credit report. When they would call, I would know exactly everything. Because when I tell you I read every single credit report of all my clients now, and I have over 100 clients, I read every single report now. My memory's not that good now, where if a client will call, I'd be like, wait a minute, let me pull your account up.
But you still are personal with
exactly.
Them. You're still like, oh, hold on, Cherie, let me pull this up.
Yep.
And Cherie's just a fake name. Don't be thinking like, oh, she told him.
That's right. Everything is confidentiality.
Yeah. Because that was another thing I wanted to ask. Like, what you doing is, how do you keep people's information secure, especially like with all the credit breaches and stuff like that?
So I do have a secure site that everything is put on. The clients have access to that site as well, but it is secure. I haven't had any issues. Sorry, knock on wood, but I haven't had any issues with it. So it's actually been working very well with me. I do like the portal that I have, but I'm in the process of building my own. So hopefully I'll be able to roll that out next year.
That's what's up. I wish you much luck on that and everything. What's the biggest misconception people have when it comes to fixing credit?
That is going to happen tomorrow.
It didn't get messed up by one day. So
it could have.
People actually think it can be fixed in one day.
You'll have people that'll sign up, and because they don't get the results that they want the first 30 days, now they're ready to quit. It's like with credit repair. I tell anybody that signs up for credit repair, expect to be in there at least a year to really see an effect. Because I can have 2 clients. Of course, there's no credit reports that are the same, but I can have 2 clients that have similar credit reports. Client A, I send out the letters. Client B, I send out the letters. Now what happens is client A will get their report back and 6 items was removed, but client B, nothing was removed. And it's like the luck of the draw. I always say it depends on the day that the person reading the dispute is having. If they having a good day, you know what? Let me delete all this.
Right.
I mean, it just all depends. And then too, I did learn that a lot of the credit bureaus now are outsourcing their dispute centers. So it's not even really the credit bureau per se that's doing the dispute. They're outsourcing people to do it. And there was actually a news, I did see a news skit on it that they weren't really disputing. They weren't really investigating the disputes. They were just like, oh, let me check this off. Okay, send it back to them.
Wow.
So you definitely have, and it can be that people can do it themselves. I am not against people repairing their own credit because it will save you a lot of money. Because credit repair is expensive. People think that, you know, it's I don't understand how people think that credit repair is not special. But I mean, it's not special.
I knew what you meant.
But bless you. But you know, you have to definitely make some sacrifices if you want a better life. And I tell people all the time, with my business, with my company, I do have a 1-year guarantee. We guarantee to enhance your credit score in 1 year, or you get your money back. I haven't had to give anybody back their money, and I've enhanced plenty of scores.
Right.
You know, I had my client went from the mid 5s to 800, and I didn't even know it got to an 800 at the point. He posted it on Facebook, and I seen it. He tagged me in the post.
Oh, wow. Good looking out, but I told you about putting the information out there like that. The world doesn't need to know. You should celebrate some victories by yourself.
Like, I appreciate, you know, him putting the buzz out there that, you know, I helped him get to that point. But one thing I did appreciate about his post was he was saying, you know, I had to learn how to really, you know, sacrifice and invest, you know, really invest in myself and really make sure I'm paying my bills on time. Because if you're not paying your bills on time, don't sign up for credit repair, because all you're doing is making the process harder.
Right.
I get people that won't pay their bills on time but expect me to be a miracle worker. And you still not paying. You in my program and you still not paying your bills on time. Wow.
And that brings me to my next question. What is your biggest pet peeves with some clients? Like you just said, you got to pay your bills on time. You're paying me. You might as well pay your bills on time.
Lying? They won't be honest with what's on their credit report. Like, I'm not going to see it. Or they won't be honest about not paying a bill. Or they'll go apply for a car and won't tell me, but I'll see it when I pull their credit report next month. It's like, at the end of the day, you're grown. That's your credit. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
But you communicate that with me. So I know, because there's other ways that I can tell you to do. I can say, instead of going to the dealership, let me look at your score, see where you at. You could probably go to a bank and just apply one. So now you want to get one hit versus going to a dealership and you're getting 12 hits. Like, there's different things that I can, tell you to do, instead of you going out doing it on your own. Because now you're going to set yourself back, because 12 hits, that's dropping your score.
Right.
And they're not coming off for 2 years.
And some people just don't get it.
Nope.
But when you said people will go out and like lie to you, be like, oh yeah, I'm paying the bill, but you see the credit report, so.
Or like they'll call me and I'll do my consultation with them. And they'll mention maybe half of what's on their credit report. They won't mention the other half. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is going to be easy, you know. I had one client told me he had 3 lates. He had 33. Yeah.
Oh, and they stick around for a while too, don't they?
I mean, I got some reversed. It's a process. But yeah, like, I mean, not that it would have changed anything if he would have said, you know, he had 33, but it's like, I'm pulling all 3 of your reports. I'm seeing exactly what you have.
And plus, you know, us men lying way be like, yo, girl, I'm the truth. I'm the truth. And then after all is said and done, you'd be like, yo, boy, you the truth. How come the truth wasn't with you?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, and then that comes from people being embarrassed, in which, like you said, you know, there's no reason to be embarrassed about it. No. If you continue to stay with bad credit, then yes, you should be embarrassed, because you can do something to change it. Instead of going to the bar every Friday night, skip 1 week. That's enough to pay me, because I'm sure what you're spending at the bar is what I charge monthly. And
you ain't lying, because I had to teach myself the respect all increments of money. Because like before, I used to be like, oh man, it's only $20. Oh man, it's only $10. But I had to train myself to be like, that's $20 less I got to pay on this bill. That's $10 less I got to pay on this bill. So I don't mind having a quiet night at home or buying my own liquor and drinking at home, because I'm like, I could buy a bottle of wine for my lady. That's about $15. And I could buy, you know, the bourbon I drink, which is about $25, $27, versus us going to the bar and spending twice as much and getting less than that. And then coming home and it's like, damn, did we really just spend $50 at the bar?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could have just spent $50 and had it here, and we could have had them drinks all week. Well, maybe not the wine, because women, they go hard on wine.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
maybe
go through
not
a
the
wine
wine.
bottle
Maybe
at
not
night.
the wine.
I go through a
But
whole
everything
bottle
else-
in a night.
But everything else, we couldn't, I know my whiskey would have lasted me the week. But the wine, nah, that's a whole different story. But it is usually less than $20. And don't let people fool you about the more expensive the wine is, the better it is. Nah,
No.
some of the best shit I done had was like $9.
Oh, I found this wine. It's $12.99. It's the best wine I've ever had.
So yeah, they need to understand that is you don't have to bust the bank and everything like that.
Credit repair is a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice while you're going through the process. You have to. Because the problem with people too is they don't see long term. We're so used to thinking tomorrow, but we're not thinking about next year, because that 1 year could change your life. You can change your whole lifestyle in 1 year if you really cut back on a lot of the dumb stuff you do. A lot of people, a lot of my financial coaching clients, I tell them all the time, put yourself on however much you're going to spend for that week, take it out in cash. Don't swipe your card, because we so quick. We swipe. By the end of the week, you done spent $300, and you're like, damn, what did I buy?
I've been there, and I've really been on some old upset at myself, like, damn, I got $200 going.
Right.
Then you looking at your receipt, you like, what?
Where this stuff at so I can take it back?
And then this what used to really get me. This is why I love carrying cash now. You go to the bar, you with your favorite bartender, you're buying drinks and this, and this, and you swipe it. You done forgot the tip you done put on the card. So I'm looking at my card, I'm thinking, oh, my bill's only $46.
Right.
But then I fucked around, felt good because I had the liquor in me. I gave her a $15 tip.
Right.
So now I'm looking at my account like, damn, I'm going to use that $15 for gas. But, it's easier if I give it the cash, and when the cash going, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. And then too, we're less likely to break a big bill. If I have 100 in my pocket, I'm finding change before I go to break that 100.
Because the curse of breaking a big bill, $100 could be $12.76 real quick. At the end of the night, you be like sitting there, pocket full of receipts, talking, I got some gum, I got some Gatorade,
Right.
this and that, and you looking at you like, yo, that $100 went quick.
That's like cracking a seal at the bar. You don't go to the bathroom, because once you crack that seal, honey, you in the bathroom for the rest of the night. Every 5 minutes.
You might as well say, we might as well go home.
No, we're going to go sit in the bathroom. We're going to take this party to the bathroom. Because then you turn into a pissy patty.
Now, I know you got to have some horror stories of somebody that you helped out, they didn't listen, they fucked up, and you had to help them out again, and they fucked up. Yo, she's just sitting here with like this steady smirk and laugh like, if you only knew.
Yeah. My objective is really not to have my clients come back. That's why I stress to them learning about their financial behaviors so they can change their negative financial behaviors into positive ones so that they don't come back, because I don't want to see you again. But yes, I have had me get somebody somewhere and then they come back.
Have you had them fight like tooth and nail, like when you're sitting down with them and going over their finances and being like, yo, do you really have to get your nails done every week? Do you really have to get your hair cut every week? And they're like, well, yeah, I need this, and this. And like,
I had one client was spending about $300 a month at Dunkin' Donuts.
At Dunkin' Donuts?
Every day she was drinking coffee and eating. Told her to go buy a carrot. She did. So now she's saving that $300 a month.
Yeah, because Dunkin' Donuts food ain't nothing but microwave. Have you ever seen anybody make anything at Dunkin' Donuts on the grill? So for you to be spending $300,
it comes out of a basket. They pull it out the basket. They put it together, and they put it through something. I guess the toaster.
Yeah, get your own toaster
I
oven.
love Dunkin' Donuts food. I love their.
And this is no hit on Dunkin' Donuts, but we just talking about some shit like
Yeah, it's just some stuff that until you bring it to their attention. With my financial coach, my coaching clients, I have them save their receipts for 1 month, and we go through the receipts one by one. Why did you buy this?
Half the time they can't remember.
Yeah.
I
have clients that eat out every single night. I'm like, can't you cook? I'm not understanding. You're eating out for you, your boyfriend, and your kids. That's a big bill. Every night, your Uber Eats.
Shit, something like that. You'd be like, let me get all y'all asses in the kitchen. We're going to cook a meal together as a family.
Listen, I'm about to boil a big ass pot of spaghetti, and we're going to eat off this all week. Like, it's just little things like that, and people take that for granted. Like, I get it. You know, you might have a good job. You making good money, so you feel like, yeah, I can eat out every night if I want to. I can eat out with my family every night if I want to. Granted, yes, that is true. But think about the long term. Stop thinking about short term. Think about the long term, because in the long term, all that adds up.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you find telling your clients to write stuff down? Like you said, you have them hold the receipts, but when they start to write something down, like when you do a budget and you start to write it down, you start to visualize like, oh, I could be saving money here, here, and here, because a lot of people, I'm guilty of it myself, try to keep it up here.
Yep.
And them numbers go all over the place. So I'm sitting in here thinking I got a surplus of $200, but I had other responsibilities and that's gone. Yeah,
I actually have a budget form that I send out, and it automatically calculates everything. It takes 80% of what you have left after all your bills are paid, whether it's your rent, your car note, and your luxuries. I have entertainment on there as well. Once all that's paid for, we take 80% of that and we put it in your savings. So you might make $2,500 a month. Your bills, we'll just say your bills come to $1,400 a month. So you have $1,000 left over. So 80% of that, let's put that in the bank.
Okay.
It's just changing the mindset. Our mindsets are just screwed up because, number one, we're either mimicking the behaviors we've seen as growing up. We're mimicking our parents because they didn't teach us. Or we just like, I'm going to do what I want to do anyway. You know, because I grew up in a household where my grandparents paid cash for everything. So I didn't see I didn't see the credit aspect of it, so.
Now, I once read on Twitter where some guy that does financial coaching and everything like that, he says, we have to get people out of the drug dealer mentality. And he went on to clarify saying that a lot of people spend money like corner boys, like, I made 1,000 last week, so I know I'm gonna make it this week. So you get into the habit of spending money that you physically don't have in your hand.
Exactly. Yep.
Because you think I'm gonna make it. Because he said drug dealer mentality, but some girl got on there. She was like, "No, that's the stripper mentality. I guess it's the fast money mentality."
That's equal. Drug dealer and a stripper are equal. That's it.
Because they have moments where they make a lot of money, and it comes in like a flood, and then moments that are slow.
Yeah, I mean that I do agree with that. I think that is save. You just gotta save. You have to.
And I think once you learn how to save and you start looking back at stuff, it'll be something that you strive to do. Be like, yo, man, I gotta save this. Because like I said, we all been guilty of walking past that store window and been like, oh, I want that. I want that right now. But then you have to, come back and say, okay, do I really need this? Because we gotta stop buying stuff on once.
Impulse. It's impulse shopping. I used to be an impulse shopper. Thought Walmart was a double. I hated going to Walmart. I would go in there for 2 things, come out with a whole cart full of stuff, and wonder why I spent $150 in Walmart. So now when I go to Walmart, I don't even take a cart. I know exactly what I want. You
don't take a cart, so you just go in there and be like, I'm only carrying what I got in my hands.
That's it.
And that is it.
That is it. And then the worst thing they ever came out with, of course, was Amazon. I love Amazon. Like I buy food off Amazon now. I'm lazy.
My girl hasn't bought food off Amazon, but she loves Amazon. I love it. She loves it.
Oh my God, I could just lay in my bed and just be like, I want that. But, I don't, for my clients now, that's not a good thing to do. But I mean, you get to the point where, like I said, it takes 21 days to learn a habit. So once you continually, you see yourself saving, you see your money growing, and then you're able to move a little different, you're going to aspire to want to continue to do that.
Right.
It's all about changing the mindset.
And then once you change that, it's no looking back. It's like, okay, I'm going forward.
Exactly. I mean, we have our people we know. Instagram lives.
Because I was just about to go there, like
living their best life.
You see some people on Instagram, you think they are balling, they got the best lives, but
yes,
with me being a photographer and then you doing credit repair, we get welcomed into some of these homes and some of these lives, and you'd be like, yo,
you're not living your best life.
Where's that bed I saw you posing at? And be like, oh, I was at my mom's house, and you looking, they got the mattress on the floor. Even the air mattress and stuff, like they be living their best life online. And I always tell a lot of people, like, yo, Instagram is entertainment. I mean, yes, people can make money off it, and some people do make money off it, but Instagram is everybody's highlight reel of the best shit in their life.
Yeah, I mean,
nobody's posting their failures on Instagram.
Oh, of course not. I mean, who?
Yeah, why?
Because people are embarrassed about that, and it's like even with your failures, like don't be embarrassed about it. If you got through it, talk about it. Because guess what? Somebody else is going to go through it. Somebody else went through it too, and they can relate. There's nothing bad about, failing. It's about what you do when you fail. It's how you turn it around. But yeah, I know a lot of Instagram, people that are just living their best life. But
and is it hard for you to deal with that when you got clients?
Yeah, because sometimes when I see clients post stuff, just be
like, what the fuck is this? Like, this motherfucker.
Like, I'm gonna let them live. I'm gonna let them live. I'm not gonna blow you up.
Be like, I told them not to buy this.
And then too, that gets them in trouble too. And not to say that they get in trouble with me, but yeah, that gets them in trouble with me. And you already know my tongue is a razor. I'm the same way with my clients. Like, my heart is good, so I mean well with the things that I say, but sometimes I don't know how to say it, and it just won't come off however.
Right.
I'm quick to tell people, I'll do a consultation with someone, tell them, look, the first thing is the accountability. You need to own up to the fact that you messed your credit up. I'm here to help you, but until you own up that you did it, we can't work together.
Do you find a lot of people like to blame everybody but themselves?
Oh, yeah. I ain't do this, I didn't do that, but you were making the payments. You were supposed to be making the payments. So you were supposed to be doing this, you were supposed to be doing that. Even when clients don't understand either the aspect of the credit score. There's different components to your score. So once I pull your first credit report, usually the first 60 days that you're in my program, we're not going to talk about add-in credit until I get your physical report, because even though I'm pulling it off the website, I still want the paper one.
Right.
So I want to see that one. So when I see that one, it's actually going to show me 4 years worth of history of how you were making your payments, things like that. And I'm able to go in and say, okay, you know what? We need to add some revolving credit. Revolving credit is a credit card. So let's put a credit card on there. So I have affiliates, companies that I'm affiliated with, that I send my clients. So like their fees are waived, different bonuses with that. So I had them sign up for a credit card. Fine. The next month, then I say, you know what? We need to get a personal loan. Your credit score went up. We got to get you a personal loan. But you need to understand, you're getting this personal loan, but you're putting that money in the bank to pay that loan back, because we're just building your credit. These credit cards are not for you to use. This is to build your credit up.
This is for not a Vegas weekend.
Exactly. So we'll do a personal loan, and it's just crazy because I learn stuff almost every day with this credit thing. There's no science to it. It's always something different. And I realized I had 3 clients that I couldn't understand why their scores weren't moving enough for me, because I have high hopes for all my clients.
Right. But
their score wasn't moving enough for me. And the problem was none of them had personal loans, but they had everything else. They had a mortgage, they had a car, they had 5-6 credit cards, but they didn't have the personal loan, which 10% of your credit score is a mixture of credit.
Okay.
So I needed them to go get a personal loan. And then once they did that,
started seeing it go up.
Yes. Light bulb went off in my head. Like, okay, so now, yeah, even still, I'm still learning stuff, like I said, there's no science to credit, because with everyone, it's different. My first bankruptcy came off in 30 days. My second one feels like it's taking forever. So, like I said, it's the luck of the draw with that, but you really got to understand your credit score and the components of it, because it's your history. So like a lot of companies, they will pull your credit report and they're going to dispute everything negative. There's nothing wrong with that, except with my company, we're looking at your history. So I'm not going to dispute an account that you've had for 10 years because you've had maybe 2 or 3 lates on it.
Right.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to send a letter to that company asking them to reverse those lates. Big companies aren't doing that. They're just sending letters to the credit bureau. See, I hit them with 2, like what they say, kill one bird with 2 stones. I'm going after the debt company as well as the credit bureaus. Okay. Because if I remove that 10-year line of credit, your score is going to drop.
Because that's your longest term.
Exactly.
Okay.
But companies, like I said, I worked for a network marketing company. I saw exactly what they did. They're not looking at the length of the history. They'll take you all the way down to having nothing on your credit report at all. Which
is bad, especially if you're a grown-ass man or grown-ass woman.
Exactly.
You've been living off the grid?
Right. And then, too, people have another misconception is that your credit has to be 100% flawless. It doesn't have to be 100% flawless, because I do have a client that right now his score is a 799. And he has one item on there that we still haven't got removed, but he has a 799. and it's like a $3,000 bill. $799 with a $3,000 bill. That's negative.
Wow.
And he can get whatever he want.
Now, I gotta ask, how do you, or have you had to encounter somebody that want to fix their credit, but they have a Achilles heel, like a spouse, like a young lady that has a bum in her life that is preventing her from making the good moves, or a young guy that has a leech in his life that, you know, he's so busy trying to show her the way is putting him in debt. Because me personally, I have a friend who, instead of telling the females like it is, like, look, I'm a work in progress, it's a struggle, I don't have it like that. He goes out and he can get money. He'll go out and do whatever he can to get money just to pamper them, like he a baller. And it's like, yeah, you partied this weekend in Atlantic City or whatever, or you took her to Miami, but you coming back talking about, I ain't got no gas, and she asked me to help pay her rent because you setting the tone somewhere different and it shouldn't be there.
And I mean, not even that too. At the same time, you got to look at the person you're dealing with, because it's no way that we all want to be spoiled, right, point blank. But I would never ask a man to go above and beyond to do stuff for me. You know what I mean? Or put him in debt, because at the end of the day, I want us to build together. So how about let's not go away? Let's put that money into, let's go flip a property. You know, let's do other things. But my mindset is different. And when I do consultations, because I'm also a certified life coach. Okay. So a lot of times my consultations that are 15 minutes wind up being 45 minutes, because it'll just go off into a whole spat of something else, because they'll get into their life story, and then my life coaching skills kick in. So I have had stories where, you know, one person was bringing the other person down. I can't tell nobody what to do with their life. I can only offer suggestions or offer things that I've been through, or how I would react in that situation. Right. Because at the end of the day, we're all grown. We're going to do what we want to do. But in that type of situation, I don't want nobody flying me nowhere every weekend or giving me money all the time. Like, nah, let's start saving and let's make this better. Right. Because in like 5-10 years, I want to be able to go wherever I want and not worry about nothing. Right. And constantly got money coming in. And a lot of people don't look for the future. It's like just the right now. Right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people now, they're just looking for the right now. Shoot, a lot of people right now are just looking for somebody to help them pay the rent. Right. Period. It's a struggle out here. No Listen, joke. I'm good. I'm good. Now, how many people, you know, that's on your team were clients before they were on your team? Did you have any conversions? One. And then, you know, as far as how you built your team, was this like people that you kind of recruited, or, you know? Well, 95% of my clientele comes from social media. I have clients in California. I have clients in Vegas, Texas, Kentucky, Louisiana. Now, what about your team Florida members? How did you engage with them? Social media. Some of them came from social media. I have one in Louisiana. Okay. I have one in Florida. I have a couple here. So it's kind of like they hit you up and was like, you know, I'm interested in this and that. So you bring them on and you teach them the ropes and everything like that. I mean, I talk to them. I have a consultation with them. I explain what it is and my expectations, because of course it's my brand. So my expectations are high. I want them to basically be me, because I'm at a point now where it's like I'm kind of stepping back from more of the recruiting clients, letting my team recruit the clients, so I can be more hands-on with the financial coaching. Because I just actually told my team that, because that's just as important. Yeah, I'm rolling out now that when you sign up for my the credit enhancement program, I'm offering free financial coaching, basically. So that's going to come along with the program. So I have to be able to step back a little bit from recruiting clients for myself. I mean, I'm over 100, so I'm good. Okay, that's what's up. So what should people have ready when they come to you? The mindset of, I want to do better. I want to change. Do people actually come to you without that mindset? Oh yeah, they say they want to change, but you can tell in their actions. Action speaks louder than words. You know, we heard that as a kid, and it's true. And we definitely heard that in dating. Yeah, because if I told you, hey, I need you to get that credit card down to at least $50, and now we in month 4, and it's still at the same spot it is, you're not serious. Yeah, because like I said, credit is so serious, and like I said,
we all got like credit horror stories, but one that rings particular in my mind. I'm in college and I was living in the dorms and I was like, yo, I want my own spot. So I found this loft in, South Philly, and the guy showed me the loft, and I'm in there and I'm already picturing where I'm putting furniture and everything like that. Like this is in the back. I got the money. Man, dude came back and was like, yo, I like you and everything, but your credit,
not happening.
I can't push this through the property owner. And I'm like, property owner? I'm like, I got the money. I can pay 6 months in advance. I can do this. And he's like, I'm a man. You need to take that money. Take care of what's on your credit report. And I'm like, this is the 90s. Sorry, I had to date myself. I was like, how do I do that? He's like, apply for something. He said, matter of fact, when we reject you, you're going to get a letter that basically says
why
you can, why we rejected you, and you can get a copy of your credit report for free. So I did that and then realized that my thing was I wasn't paying shit. I'm out here living my best life before Instagram. Wasn't paying shit. So my cousin actually, she sat down with me and, she built like this bill Bible for me. We went to Staples and she got some paper and she had me write everything down. And she was like, write everything down that you spend. Write everything down that you make. And she says, I'm even talking about that hustle money, because back then I was doing photography, but it wasn't like everybody didn't have a camera. We was still in the dark room. So she said, when you taking pictures for whoever and stuff, write that down. I was always one that had my hands in many different things, different revenues and income. So it took about 1.5 years to actually get to the point that where my credit was at a point where they started sending me the pre-approved offers, but I started cutting them up because I'm like, I don't need you looking to. I don't need more cards or something like that.
It's a trap.
But I had an auto issue where I needed to get my car fixed, and I was able to finance the repairs.
Okay.
Because my credit was fixed. I mean, granted, I thought I was rolling in dough, so I could have paid for the repairs, but financing the repairs. And they said like it was 6 months, pay it off, no interest. So I was making the payments and I paid it off at the end of 6 months. Then I noticed my score went up. And now, I got some credit worthiness. So I'm like, okay, now I'm a big man on campus now. But that one apartment, and I'm not sure if the apartment's still there, but the building's still there. And I'll be riding by and I'll be like, the things I would have did up in that piece.
Oh, God.
It would have been lovely. It would have been lovely.
Next subject. But I mean, at the end of the day, when you are at a point where your credit is really good and you don't have to worry about when you go apply whether or not you're going to get denied, that's a wonderful feeling. Like, I'm at that point now, and it's beautiful.
Now, I need you to touch on this real quick before we roll out. Credit monitoring services. How you feel about them?
100%. You need to have it, because with all these breaches going on, if you have bad credit, yeah, okay, they're not worried about you right now. But the dark web is real, or the black net, whatever you want to call it. That is real. And once your credit score goes up, if you don't have a monitoring service, guess what's going to happen? You're going to find out you got a house and car in California. I had a client that had a house and a car in California. The good thing about it was they was paying the mortgage and the note. But it wasn't theirs.
Wow. Without getting personal, did that client ever be able to recoup that, or he had to dispute it, or?
Well, at first we didn't dispute it because, of course, it was looking really nice on his credit report. But then when they wound up going to go ahead and get a mortgage, the debt to income kind of was a problem. So we wound up filing a I didn't need that report. Okay. So we got that resolved. And a lot of people don't check their credit. You'll be surprised at people that'll reach out to me and I'm like, well, what's your score? I don't know.
And how do you feel about those things like Credit Sesame, Credit Karma, this and that? Because everybody seems to be gravitating to them. And I know their commercials have been on heavy lately in TV. It's like they almost battling each other. Yeah,
they use what's called an Advantage score. It's their own scoring system that they use. It's not your actual FICO score. Your Credit Sesame or Credit Karma can actually be higher or lower than what your real score is. So it's always best to get your credit report from either a monitoring service a real monitoring service, or from the credit bureaus themselves. That's the only way to get your actual FICO. People look at Credit Karma and be like, oh my God, my score is a 720.
And you get your real report.
I pulled a report and it's a 580.
Wow.
But it has different, a couple years ago, I was only really seeing like a 10-point difference, either 10 points higher, 10 points lower. But then I had one client, Credit Karma was reporting that I believe he had like a 730, but when I pulled his credit report, he was at a 790. So it was like, they're
downplaying this stuff. So it's best to take advantage of getting one free credit report from all 3 agencies a year. And then
well, you don't get the score with that.
Oh, you don't get the score.
If you get the free, you don't get your score. You have to actually pay for your score. So, like with my program, I'm affiliated with the credit monitoring service. So my clients get a discounted rate. And I do prefer for them to keep it because I can pull their credit reports every 30 days and their scores. So I actually can see their progress. Where it gets kind of hard when the clients, and some people can't afford it, and I totally understand that. So we get other ways. I figure out other ways to get their scores and their reports. But to have that service is very important. Even when you're done with me. Even when you're period. You might well
assume that bill is a maintenance bill, because honestly, with all the breaches and everything that's happened, it's a strong likelihood that your credit information is floating around on the dark web.
Oh yeah.
So you can give up eating out once a week, or give it up going to the bar and just pay these companies, because these companies range anywhere from $9 to $70 or whatever, depending on the level of service you need. You gotta look them up on your own, or you can contact Bad Credit Ain't Cute.
That's right.
And get the hookup. Because we, especially our community, we need to be on top of this, because we don't have the luxury of passing down generational wealth like everybody else. So why not be the first and then teach your kids, and they'll teach their kids, and we can break that curse.
Exactly.
It's not always about the right now. You have to think down the line, like, what's going to be best for my family later down in life.
And even when you're not around, like, I don't want my kids to be struggling when I'm no longer here. Right. I don't want my grandkids to be struggling when I'm no longer here. I want to have something left for them. And I mean, as you know, Jay-Z is my favorite artist. And
I thought it was the
Stop it. No, Jay-Z's number 1, Trey's number 2.
Oh, okay.
I love Trey.
Well, I know you go hard for Trey.
And I've met Trey 3 times, so I'm good with him. I still need to meet Jay. That's coming one day. But, you know, when he said the streets school us to spend our money foolish, which is so true. That's reasonable doubt, honey. That's so true, because we want to keep up with the Joneses.
Right. Well, everybody, this has been a great interview. I hope you guys got a lot of good information out of this. But if you need more information, she is on Instagram, she is on Facebook, and she has her own website. I know the website is www.badcreditandcute.com. I believe the Instagram is at badcreditandcute.
Well, bad_credit, bad_ain't_cute.
I'm glad she cleared that up, and I'll make sure to have all those links and everything.
And Facebook is just Bad Credit Ain't Cute, or you can reach out to me by phone, 844-292-2299.
So, take advantage of this. I mean, really,
Yes, we are running a special until October 15th. It's $75 to sign up, $75 a month with our 1-year guarantee.
And you heard it here on BOREDinDE. And this is your man Tuck, about to sign off. I'd like to thank Miss Aisha Copeland from Bad Credit Ain't Cute for hanging out with me and drinking all my Hennessy White.
Always.
I had one
always
sitting
a pleasure.
there. I was trying to hold it for my birthday, but she came in here and was like, man. Because you see the red cup in front of her. You see all that lipstick on the red cup? Oh, she had to move it. Yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and take a shot, and we're going to call it a night. Again, thank you for checking out. New podcasts drop every Wednesday. Until next time. This is Big Tuck, BOREDinDE. Peace.